What's up guys, my name's Tom, welcome back to another video, and today we're here for something very different that you guys are used to see. Today we're here from some online content, the first on the channel in the F1 2021 game. I'm really looking forward to see if you guys enjoy this kind of content. If you do, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to channel if you're new to see plenty more Formula 1 2021 content. But here we are, today we're going to do a social race organized by Team Shazoo. If you don't know who's Team Shazoo, is my esports teams. They have a lot of members from various games, especially from the racing games. They organize a league racing championship that's called Shazoo Racing League, and the races are absolute fun. I highly recommend to go check out that racing league. It's absolute fun. Race is full of top quality league races. But anyway, today we're not here to do a Shazoo league racing because first I don't have the pace to go alongside with those guys. Today we're going to a friendly race. We're going to do a social race organized by this team on PC. It's the first one of this game. If you want to take part in this race, make sure to join their Discord server. They do these social races for all platforms, and the first one was on PC, and I decided to join to see what happens. And here we are in qualifying, the short qualifying at Bahrain, followed by a 50% race as we open the DRS for our first time lap, and it's a 1:26.9, so not a very strong lap. And you can see that I went out of the pits and I was with 10 laps of fuel, so definitely that wasn't ideal, and I decided to go once again, this time with 3 laps of fuel, and we are 5/10 up on our previous step. Open the DRS across the line, and we see where this is going to put us, still in P11. And now we're going to take a look at the timetable, and for me it was a bit of a shock, I'm not gonna lie, because look at the times. We have guys on the 24s, on the 25s, which is definitely not my league, and at the moment I find myself in P13, and there's still some guys to make their time. And you can see that now we skip to, I think this is my final lap, yes it is, and I'm in P15, so you can see that this lobby is full of league races that sweat lap times on time trial every single day, and unfortunately I exceeded track limits and decided to do a cooldown lap. And here we go to our best lap of the session. So you're going to join me for this entire lap and see what happens. Hopefully the lap is not going to be invalidated. Strict corner cutting rules applied in this lobby, as now we go into the first corner. Someone took away the 100 brake mark, so definitely that does not make things easier for anyone as we go out of the first corner. So quite equal on our previous best, already losing just a tiny bit, just minimal margins. And now we brake very hard to this very steery right-hander, and make sure to not hit that curb too much, because first you're going to get your lap invalidated, and it unsettles the car pretty badly, because the curbs in this game are absolutely awful, unforgiving. Anyway, we're going to press on. We're gaining a little bit of time here, and now we're going heading to the long left hand. Make sure to not lock up, make sure to hit the apex, which we do. So good traction actually, so that was a pretty good corner, and we're already gaining 1/10 of a second as we open the DRS and McLaren letting us through, so respecting the blue flags. It was pretty clean, this lobby. I'm already telling you, spoiler alert, this lobby, these guys behaved really well, so it was a very fun race. And you're going to see as we go now through the long right hand, it's very easy to lose the back end when your car is heavy during the race, because now the cars are definitely much slower than in the 2020 game, as now we have just one corner to go and we're just gaining 1/10 of a second. So actually I'm improving the lap pretty nicely. It's been a very good tidy lap. Through the final corner we go. Make sure to use all the track, which we do so on the limit. Open the DRS, 2/10 of improvement, where this is going to put us P16. This only put us in P16. Oh, I'm screwed for life. It was a big shock. I can tell you that when I was racing, it was a bit of a shock. I wasn't expecting to battling for the win, because I know that would be racing with, league races and all those guys that sweat for lap times. But we are in penultimate place, and I think it's going to be quite a challenge to even challenge the guy in P15. The guy in last place is not even matching the 107% rule, so hopefully it's not going to be a no man's land race, and we'll see what we can do. We are at Bahrain, so of course we're going to try to do the one stop. I don't know if these league races starting on the softs are going to do the one stop as well, because you can do when starting on the softs, do the one stop. However, it can be a bit challenging when it comes to the tire management, so in that case maybe the two stop is a little bit more viable. I don't know, but here we go. Not the start of the race, we have a formation lap, which is my first in the F1 2021 game, and there is your pole sitter Oscar Moreno, and in second place we have our teammate Ruben Pereño, that was outscored by Oscar by just 22 thousandths of a second. So this is going to be really close, and I think it's going to be a pretty exciting race at the front. But for us, we'll see what he can do. We're going to start on the mediums. We are the only guys that are starting on the mediums outside of the top 10, with the exception of the Ferrari, but I don't know his space. I don't know if he's going to be faster than me, and this qualifying was an absolutely nightmare. But we'll see what we can do in these next 29 laps for 5 red lights for the social race at Bahrain. And it slides out, and away we go. Great start against the Red Bull, already side by side with Chino, and we'll see what he can do as we go into the first corner. Oscar leading the race, but down inside maybe goes the other Red Bull. No, Oscar is pretty comfortably at the front, and the other Red Bull tries to go run it, which he does so, and we are still into penultimate place. But the Red Bull loses the back end as well, the Alpine, but it's not that bad for the French car, because the Red Bull is round similar to what Mazepin did in the real life Bahrain Grand Prix, and we are promoted one position up into P15, I should say, as we lose a little bit the back end. So it definitely has not been the cleanest of starts for me, once again losing the back end, and somehow I managed to catch that. I'm already losing time to these guys, because I'm gonna tell you, I was a little bit nervous. I don't know, I know that this is nothing serious, just a social race, but I want to see if I can challenge these league races, see what I can do about it. Bahrain is definitely not my best track on the calendar, so I might struggle a little bit. So what I want to do here is try to do a clean race, try to manage these tires nicely, and see if I can capitalize on other people's mistakes, because these guys are going to be pushing left, right and center. I'm going to do so, however I'm not going to be pushing maybe 110% like these guys do. I'm going to push maybe 105% to see if I can do mistakes, and you know, and time penalties can be very decisive once we see the checkered flag. But anyway, this is the race at the front. The Mercedes going wide. This is one of the members of Shazoo, and he's a brand new one. It's Carter, so welcome to the team, Carter, if you're watching this video. Anyway, he's side by side with Sink on the Alfa Romeo, and he gets that position, but Carter might go down inside and try to get that back this position as they go into the first corner. Very tight margins. It says he's a little bit of which and settles pretty badly the car, and he's down into P5. So definitely things are getting really hot at the front in these first few laps of the race. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with those guys. But for us, it's been a quiet race so far. It's just lap 2. But anyway, we'll see what he can do, as now we have a spinning Aston Martin. He's not Sebastian Vettel, he's Iggy, and he is rounded. That's another free position. So like I was saying, capitalizing on other people's mistakes, and maybe that can give us points. That is my aim for this race, as now the Mercedes goes wide once again. Carter struggling in these first few laps of the race. It seems definitely is not liking those soft tires at the moment, and he misses the apex on the last corner. Very shaky, and that Mercedes, that rear is all over the place. And this is going to allow Sink to go side by side with the Mercedes, and he's dropped once again another position. Carter now side by side goes the Williams with Luca, and I think he's going to send one down inside, maybe off Carter as well. That was really close. So you can see that things are getting really hot between these guys in the midfield. Meanwhile, who still leads this race is Oscar Marino, but Jeffrey in the Red Bull is not that far as well from Ruben Perrin. So I think everyone in the top 5, top 6 can win this race, and I'm really looking forward to see what happens. As now we lose the back end, and we're around, and we made a mistake. This is awful. This is the complete opposite to what I wanted in this race, and we might lose the position to the Aston Martin of Iggy, and yes we do, and we're down in the P14. So unfortunately we spun around only on lap 4, and I already made a mistake. That right-hander, I can tell you, if you don't play the F1 2021 game, you don't have the idea how hard is that right-hander when your car is heavy at the start of the race. Maybe it's just me being a noob. I'm struggling a lot with this game, I don't know. But anyway, getting a slipstream on Iggy. Let's try to get this position back. Down inside we go. He's on a harder comparative tire, so this can be a little bit easier for us. But he gets a beautiful switch back twice, I should say. And we are once again side by side. We have the DRS, so let's see if we can try to regain this position. I'm going to try to go down inside, but he's too far up the road. He locks up a little bit, and maybe locks the rears because he lost a bit the back end, a very shaky rear end of that Aston Martin. Side by side we go once again, and he's going to get the better run around the outside, and he gets that position once again. Try to go around the outside through this very understeer right hand. I always struggle in this corner, I don't know why, and there's nothing that I can do about it. Even with the hardest comparative tire, this man is faster than me. That is league racing, baby. I'm not used to these things. I'm used to, you know, the standard career mode, which is my main content in the channel. And then I get to these races, and yeah, I get this little shock. But anyway, I'm having a loads of fun, you know, doing this race. I'm gaining experience with this game. But this corner, this right-hander, we're watching the replay, is super hard to do when your car is heavy. Doing that flat out maybe you're in imagination, maybe if you're an esports driver, but for me, it's super hard. Maybe I could put, you know, +1 or 2 wings at a rear on the setup, and maybe that would solve the problem. I don't know, I'm not really an expert engineer in this game. I always do some tweaks here or there, but you're going to see now that thankfully I'm not the only one that is struggling in this right-hander.
Meanwhile, we have people asking in the chat whether Carter Lundy has damage, and at least looking at it from the
Lucas
outside.
spun. Lucas at the rear end of Jeffrey Ritchie. I think Jeffrey Ritchie's the one with damage. He lifted off through turn 11, and it just caught Luca completely out. He taps the rear, spins around, drops down to P8.
And we have another spinning Aston Martin. This time is Luca, and I think Jeffrey might have some problems. I don't know, because he was in 2nd place and out of nowhere we was battling for 5th place. So I don't know if he had some front wing damage, if he made contact with someone, but he was super slow. But now the guys that are on the softs are starting to make their mandatory pit stops, and things are getting pretty hot.
Is up into, well, the provisional lead of the race. They're going to come out right behind Iggsy, maybe down the inside into turn 1. Bit of contact. Hopefully there's no front wing damage, and that was maybe a bit too aggressive from Pedreño. But take a look at this. Christian Sendel all over the rear end of Merino. Merino goes defensive. Christian Sendel looks to the outside. They're side by side on corner exit, and Christian Sendel will make the move stick. Pedreño moves up to P4 ahead of Higgsy and gets 1 car between himself and the Alfa Romeo of Christian Sendel.
And there you have it. Things are getting pretty hot at the front, and we are with a very privileged view. Get the popcorn, ladies and gentlemen, because I was seeing all of this. You can see on the top right-hand corner that I was watching this battle pretty closely. But anyway, it seems that Oscar is trying to get the lead of the race, but now who's going to take the lead is Sink, and I think, yes, Sink takes the effective lead of the virtual lead, I should say, of the Grand Prix, and Oscar might be under threat from Ruben Pedreño in the AlphaTauri, our teammate miles away from us, so that is kind of embarrassing. Equal cast, obviously, in these social races, but you can see that I'm a sitting duck against these guys, and now Andres Aguila in the Williams goes down the inside. He already made his stop, and that is going to be a pretty easy move on the Williams. Try to resist, try to see where I can find the limits of these guys, to see if I can give a bit of an headache, despite being in a different race. But now it's time to pit. It was supposed to be on lap 13, but I don't want to lose time with Jeffrey, which seems to be struggling a lot, already down into P10, so definitely he must have changed the front wing or something, because it was struggling a lot, and that's the reason that he made contact with the Aston Martin, and now we have a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So I was talking about try to not get any penalties during this race. There you have it. The master plan is ruined. And they have it. We're going to fit a brand new set of hard tires, and this league race, I don't know why I'm saying league race, this social race I should say, is not going as I intended. Some guys have already retired. Carter in the Mercedes retired from this race, for example. I don't know if he got disconnected or if he crashed. I tried to find on the stream, but I couldn't find anything that showed what was his problem. Maybe he got disconnected, I don't know. Hopefully we're going to capitalize in these DNFs, and hopefully we're going to score points in this race. At the moment we're doing so. Iggsy retired as well, and we have 12 runners in this race. KRL, the spinning Red Bull on the first lap, is no man's land. He's 46 seconds behind me. So at the moment, I'm kind of lonely here, doing anything, just gaining experience, you know, doing the laps, and try to find the limits without making mistakes, you know, try to be consistent and get a bit of more feel of this game, because I haven't done that many laps, and probably that's the reason that maybe I'm a bit too slow. But anyway, this is the man, this is Sink. I think he's in the 2-stop, he's on the medium compound of tires. I'm not entirely sure about this strategy, but he definitely is much faster than me, and in any time soon he's going to get this position, as now he has the DRS. I'm going to deploy the DRS as well. I'm going defensive, and he's going to try to go run as I'm a little bit too much to the right hand side of the track, and this is going to make things easy for the Alpine. I'm going to try to get the position, but now we have another penalty. This is not great. 3 seconds being added to our final time, and oh, this is an absolute nightmare, this race. And we're down into P10. We're in the points, but you know, it's not maybe that legit, because some guys may have disconnected from the race and maybe not have crashed. So yeah, it's been a race of mixed feelings for me, but now things are getting pretty hot at the front once again, because the remaining Mercedes in this race, Lenny, is in the alternate strategy. He started on the hards, now he's on the mediums, and he's mega fast as he sends one down inside of the wheels of Andres. This Mercedes is flying at the moment, and I don't know if he can challenge for the race win, but maybe for a podium is a more realistic option, as he sends once again one down inside of sync of the other Alpine. But you can see closely, the guys on the top 3 are very close to each other, so Lenny can win this race with the alternate strategy. So this is getting pretty hot. This social race is getting really interesting, and I can't wait to see what is going to happen in the next few laps. But for me, it's not being that interesting. You see that I'm in no man's land. You can see on the minimap, there's no one that I can challenge. As Sync pulls into the pits, and he's doing the plan that I was going to talk about, and I already planned in the previous laps. I'm going to fit the soft tires. It's going to be used set because we use all of them during qualifying. And let's see if I can, you know, set a fast lap, try to do something about it. I was thinking about maybe staying out and try to finish ahead of Sync. But the thing is, I'm with 8 seconds worth of penalties, and I'm going to already serve 5 seconds. So there's no point battling Sync. I wanted to finish in P9, and there's no way that we're going to do that with the 8 seconds worth of penalties. So we're going to do, try to set a fast lap, try to steal the fastest lap from Sync, and see what we can do about it, basically. Try to get something positive from this race. Points are already good at top 10, but I want to see if I can do something different, because let's be honest, I don't have nothing to lose, and I'm here just to have fun. This is not a serious race. I'm trying to get experience in this game, and this is my first online race, the very long one. I already did some 5 laps, but anyway, it's time to come back to the front of the race to see who's going to win.
3.0, and actually, as I say that, he goes back to being 3.0 behind, so that gap is not changing between those two now. And over the remaining 2 laps of the race, it's got to get better for the hard tires runners as Oscar Marino goes to the outside. Christian Sendel goes defensive as McLaren takes the lead of the race, and Ruben Pedreno might look to have a way through as well, but he's forced to slot in behind. Oscar Marino takes the lead of the race. Nearly a start to finish race for him. He dropped behind Pedreno momentarily after his first pit stop. He dropped behind Christian Sendel, but he timed his comeback perfectly. Oscar Marino wins ahead of Christian Sendel. Ruben Pedreno will take P3. He'll drop behind Lenny Pipinta. No, he won't. 6,000ths of a second at the end. Lenny Pipinta takes P4. JST in P5. Andres Aguilar P6. Oblique will come round the final corner to take a lonely P7 ahead of Jeffrey Ritchie down in P8.
Can we put Lenny Pipinta on the podium alongside Ruben Pedreno, please? 6 milliseconds is not enough to be denied a podium, I think. My goodness, he gave it all every single lap on those medium tires, trying to close in, and at the end it was just not enough. That is just, I mean, that's just heartbreaking. Put the man on the podium, give him a joint 3rd place. 6 milliseconds, really? Come on.
And there you have it, Oscar Marino wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Great job from the guys that managed to finish on the podium, and commiserations to Lenny that missed the podium by 6,000ths of a second. About us, he didn't set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and it wasn't even Sync to set the fastest lap. It was Jeffrey, and you can see that we did an extra stop, and we were very close to being lapped by Oscar Marino, which would be very embarrassing to say the least. But thankfully, we managed to not finish with a lap down, and here we go through the final corner, and it's going to be P10 in my first social race on F1 2021, organized by Team Shazoo. It was a very good race, you know. It was fun. It had his, you know, his moments from my side. At the front, it was absolutely awesome to see these guys battling left, right, and center without making any contact, but at the same time, very aggressive racing. But you can see driver of the day, Lenny. Like I was saying, commiserations to Lenny because he missed the podium by 6,000ths of a second. And like the commentator was saying, I don't know his names, but they did a fantastic job. Let me say, if you're watching this, great job with the commentary. But like I was saying, he said that that's basically nothing, and I think Lenny should be on the podium as well. Great race, great alternate strategy from the Mercedes driver, and this is a true example that you know, time penalties can be a big factor once you see the checkered flag, because if Ruben Pedreno didn't pick that penalty, it would be life much easier for him. But there you have it, race results: Oscar Marino followed by Sync, and then Ruben Pedreno closing the top 3. But for us, P10, there you have it. I think I could have finished in P9 if I didn't get those time penalties. I think I could have finished ahead of Sync, I don't know. Maybe it could have been a different race if I didn't spin, I don't know. There is no ifs in this sport, and this shows that I'm basically nothing in the side of lead racing. I have loads of respect for these guys that, you know, sweat lap times every single day, and they do these battles very aggressively without touching. It's absolutely unbelievable, and like I said, I truly respect them. I reckon that the league racing at this level is not for everyone, and you can see that I felt in my own skin that league racing is not for me. Maybe it can be if I put more time in the time trial, but you know that career mode is my main content. But you know, from time to time I always like to do these social races, to do maybe if I can do something about it, and hopefully in the next one I can have guys more of my pace and not be that alone in the race. But anyway guys, that has been the video. Once again, thank you so much for Team Shazoo for organizing this race. Looking forward to see more races, more these social races on PC. I really had a lot of fun despite not being, you know, on the pace and against these guys. I was pretty much, you know, most of the race alone, but I decided to post this video anyway because it was a very exciting race. Thank you so much as well for Team Shazoo for letting me using their stream to show these fantastic battles at the front. Really, you know, help to complement the video, not just be, you know, my POV. If you want to take part in these races, make sure to follow Team Shazoo on Twitter. They always announce there, and to join their Discord because it's where they organize the races, where you got to know the rules and everything, you know, about the race itself, and you're going to have an absolutely bang of time. A great community, a great team, great guys, and I couldn't ask for a better team. Hopefully we're going to see more of these races, and for sure that I'm going to join them. And if the racing is interesting, hopefully that I'm going to post in this channel. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. It really motivates me to make more. At the moment my channel is not with a very good run, so hopefully I'm going to try to ramp up the channel once again as soon as I can. Hopefully the algorithm is going to be on my side sooner rather than later, because I've been struggling a little bit to catch new audience. My videos I think are not being recommended, so make sure to share as well. It really helps me out, trust me. I put a lot of work in these videos, and I'm planning to bring more online content to the channel because I think it's a thing that is missing and is pretty exciting to see. It's not just about career mode. I want to bring more things about online racing, not league racing because I don't have time at the moment to do league racing, but taking part in these social races is something different because these races go from time to time. It's not every single week. And once again, if you want to watch a very good league race championship, make sure to follow Team Shazoo on Twitch, and their league race championship is absolutely the best. But anyway, that has been me for today. My name's Tom, and I'll see you guys for the next time. But for now, take care.